Thank you very much for inviting us to this event, and congratulations to all the previous communication. It had been all very, very interesting, really. We are here to present a project, collaboration between ¿Cómo? Sí, no, I know. A private firm, DIGIVISION, and a public institution, a museum, Museu Etnològic del Montseny in Arbúcies. And as we don't have many time, but we are really proud of our project and we like to show off. We have many slides, so I'll try to condensate, just give you the main keys in the beginning. So this project is about to deliver the information from the research. You will see the archaeological research and documentary research. And it's about giving the opportunity to everyone to get to this information. It's about accessibility. And it's about to create a commercial product to all kinds of people, to give all the people the opportunity to engage with culture, with heritage. Okay. This project starts many years ago, 30 years ago. The museum, Museu Etnològic del Montseny, works in a project, archaeological and historical project, of the Viscounty of Cabrera, one of the most important feudal domains of Catalan medieval ages, which you have here the map. Its main spot is the Montseny Castle, which is object by the museum of this research from. Sorry, I'll get the chuleta. I want to go faster, and then my English is not so fast. I'm sorry. Maybe I read a little bit so I get a little bit fluent. For 30 years, the museum has carried out documentary and archaeological research, which has allowed us to obtain information on how the castle of Montseny evolved through the years and how life happened inside it. For us, research is the basis of everything. Without the research, the project couldn't have been like this. We could have done something, but not like this. This is really accurate. Yeah. Montseny is a massive architectural element and a huge archaeological site, and it consists in three elements. To sum up, it's 10,000 square meters. So you can imagine the information we need to convey to the public after 30 years of excavating and documenting this site. It's not small, it's not simple. It's difficult to explain all the information we have. Obviously, we don't give this to the people. They won't understand a thing. This is for archaeologists. Something like this could be easier to understand, but not really for all kinds of people, of publics. And this would be the previous work, recreating the castle using drawings and also coral models. I can't go faster than that. And here is where we come to the present. We have to remember that as a museum, we are a territorial museum. Our mandate is to understand the understanding and the preservation and the dissemination of cultural heritage. And for this, our primary objective is ensuring the population, especially local population, understands, values, and cherish this heritage. Because it's the only way that this heritage will survive. If people doesn't feel that it's their own heritage, it will disappear. And for that, we need to explain to them that this is part of their history and their identity. I don't know if it's the right way to say it in English, the sense of belonging, yeah, it's really crucial for everything else. And here is when the image you have is a space just next to the museum. We call it the Cabrera space. Cabrera will be the name of the noble family who owned the castle in the medieval ages. And this was inaugurated in 2022 thanks to, let me read this, project, a tourist development project financed with European funds, FEDER funds, and led to by the Selva County Council. And in this project is when we start working with the company DIGIVISION to create the 3D models of through the data we had. I don't know if you want to. This is your part. I don't know if you want to say something here or at the end.
I think it's better to explain this at the afternoon in the workshop because it's very extended and complicated.
Okay.
I think it's better in this moment. Is the best is the strategy of the gestores of the
management.
The management of the castle. What do you? I think is you finish and we will to complete.
Okay. In the afternoon, we have a session with José Antonio and Quim that you will have time to see all more technical things and to talk about a little bit about the future, and because this is going to be the basis for something more. So I will pass this once and we'll get faster. Okay. We have been excavating Montseny during 30 years, and we have discovered that Montseny had undergone 500 years of remodeling. So there's not just one Montseny castle, there's at least 3 Montseny castle. And here's where the 3D models will help us. We've got a castle from the Romanesque, pre-Romanesque times, a Romanesque castle and a Gothic castle. And after excavating and doing all the research, this would be a little bit the idea we had about the castle, which has nothing to do with this one. I think this is quite better to understand how a castle 1,000 years ago looked like. And it really helps to get to all kind of audiences, which the other image is easy to see. What we've done is to recreate these 3 castles, and in each castle look for an element which was worth to go deeper. And in this case, it was the chapel, a pre-Romanesque chapel. We found the rest during the excavations. This is what we found. And after the investigation, looking for parallels, how this chapel could have looked like in 1,000 years ago, we finally get to this amazing image. This is amazing. We've seen this structure for 20 years, and we could never have imagined this kind of thing. This is so evocative. You can imagine yourself inside with the light textures. It really gets to you. And then we have this second castle, the castle, we call it the Romanesque castle. It's really an end of the Romanesque style, beginning with the Gothic one, where the castle expands. It gets really, really big with 2 enclosures. It's not just the core of the castle, but also it expands through all the top part of the mountain. And it's like this. This is huge, and this is impressive. And this is the castle that We have a phrase we use a lot. There was a King's Chronicle, Bernat Desclot, talked about this castle in the 13th century and said it was one of the beautiful and great and noble castles of the world. It was this castle he saw. Yeah? Now you can imagine why he said that. And in this castle, what we have done is to focus in one corner of the lower enclosure. It's a very complex part because we were so lucky that we could discover how it was in the 13th century and afterwards. We know how it changes through the times in this particular spot. And we know now that we are talking about the two buildings on the left, just next to the tower, and the next one. And we know that it's about chapel and the hall just before entering that chapel. So during the 13th century, this was a public space, yeah. And then we'll see what happens in the 14th century. And next to that room, we found the Romanesque chapel dedicated to St. Peter's. This photograph is how it looks like nowadays, and it is difficult to imagine how it could have been back those days, and it was like this. So it's much easier to imagine being there, imagine how, I won't say the sounds or the smells, but yeah, the feeling of entering in that place, it's much, much easier. I think the light and the texture is what gives you these elements. And then we arrived to the Gothic palace. If you go to Montseny, this is the castle you see. This is the castle we can explain. Montseny is a fossil. After the big remodelation of the 14th century, nearly nothing was touched. So it's very easy to see. It's not the same with the other things we've seen, but it's easier to see this castle than the other ones. The 14th century castle, it's not bigger than the other one. It's just different. They change everything. The lower enclosure, the upper enclosure, they build another enclosure. They change everything. In the middle enclosure, they built the palace of the family, the owners of the castle, the Viscounts of Cabrera. And now you see the area, and it's difficult to imagine that was a palace, but with this, you see that it's a palace. We have the courtyard with a porticated corridor around, and if you want to go inside that door you see at the end, we can go inside and enter to the hall that was used as a living room, dining room, representation room. But we can go to the kitchen and see where the food of these people were prepared with the oven and the fireplace. We can't smell it, but nearly we can smell the fire, the smoke. And for me, this is incredible. This room has now two walls, yeah. And here it's obviously we don't know exactly how the wooden part was exactly, but it's made by documented other pieces that we know that were like this in that time. I don't know if I have two. No. And we go again to the same point to see what has happened after this remodelation, and they have this public area we have seen before, the narthex and the chapel has become the entrance of the private rooms of the nobles And this one circled was what we will call nowadays the master bedroom. And we use this one to see just a little bit how the work has been. This is very easy to pass from one point to another, but really this is months of go forth to create a model, a first draft, and then add, amend, change, look for advice of specialists that know about historical dissemination, and add everything there. And finally, you get to understand when we say this was wealth, this was a palace, this was richness, you can enter inside which would have been the most cozy room in the castle that days. I think there's two, yeah, and the other part. And here, I need that. Yeah. 3D technology plays a crucial role in simplifying the explanation of a complex evolution of such a significant monument. It's really very difficult to explain that in words, but it's one image is worth 1,000 words. It's that, yeah. In some cases, it helps to make intelligible areas that have undergone extensive remodeling, like the ones we have seen. In others, it's this principle, the picture is worth 1,000 words, allowing us to reach broader audiences and enhancing communication accessibility. And also, technologies have this evocative power. It helps us to generate emotions, which are, I think they are essentials to create this engagement. And to create this sense of belonging we were talking before. These images from the Cabrera space, they are facing to a wall where we put them a video. These 3D models are not just 3D models. We use them to create narratives. It was the word, yeah. In this case, it's through an audiovisual that explains the territory of these people in the Middle Ages, how they change, expand, and fight and ally. And then another one about the family, the Viscounts of Girona first and Cabrera afterwards. We're in Girona, so we have to say they were lords here too. And then we have, and after that, we will use this high quality material to go a little bit further and use them for virtual reality points and metaverse, and I'll let you this for the afternoon. And let me see. Sorry, I just try to. We talk about accessibility, so we can bring the castle here to you. We'll try. There's no sound. It's just a very short video that sums up a little bit all this we have seen. It's the evolution of the castle through the centuries. This is we call it the Rocky Castle. I don't know if it's very accurate. How it changes to this late Romanesque style, occupying all the top of the mountain with these two enclosures and this other northern part with the tower. And now how it will change in the 14th century with the great remodelation, the creation of the lower enclosure, the palace with this courtyard in the middle, and always during all these 1,000 years, the donjon, the main tower that look upon us until now, and these different focus zooms inside the castle of the 14th century. The kitchen, the hall, and the chapel. And that's it. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes, so thank you very much, Sandra, and we are happy to hear more about this in the workshop this afternoon. We are a bit running out of time, so I will give the floor to Antonella, the project coordinator of EUreka3D, for a final conclusion. Please, Antonella, the floor is yours.
So I will be very quick. First, thanks to Albert to have opened a place, a view on what can happen with the use of AI, because we didn't experiment this in EUreka3D, but it is a new frontier that we have to be aware of. Thanks to the Museum of Montseny, I'm very sorry that tomorrow I will not join the trip, but it was fascinating. And it opens another dimension of what we are doing, that is the connection between digitization of cultural heritage and tourism, and valuing the destinations for visitors that are less known, full of heritage, attractive, and we are experiencing this, for example, with the Bibract, in a new project that started this year that is about cultural tourism and valuing peripheral destinations. But as you know, our work doesn't finish now. We will continue in EUreka3D XR. We will have the opportunity to meet again, to demonstrate the power of moving from a declarative form of communication about cultural heritage to narrative forms. This is the next stage of communicating cultural heritage. I think that we have demonstrated today that EUreka3D is confirmed as a space of competence. This has been repeated by many of us. And we think that it is worth towards launching a EUreka3D competence center. So this is what we think is the demonstration of the sustainability of what we have done in EUreka3D. And I complete the conclusion of this very exciting morning. To express our thankfulness to the project officer who joined us, to all the partners of EUreka3D who made this experience so exciting, and to everybody who followed us through the whole evolvement and the new elements, the journey of EUreka3D, not just development, but much more than technical development, following our events, our demonstrations, participating with their contents in testing the EUreka3D Data Hub, and last but not least, remaining with us until this late time of the day. And now it's a time to go for lunch. Thank you very much.